Okay, we're good to go. Did everyone get the recording message?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not letting me start my video. So I guess I can go without it.
Yeah, Zoom has been having problems with video right now. So if anybody's
Yeah.
having any issues, when you can, and when you can't, you can't. So there's no
Yeah.
requirement. But you can go ahead with
Yeah, it might be easier on the eyes if I don't come on.
it.
So might be a good thing. So I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:06 p.m. This is the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Joint Planning and Land Use Outreach Committee meeting. So we have two committees, right? Planning and Land Use and Outreach. And this is a first because in the years that I've been involved, I've never taken part in a joint or even heard of a joint committee by our neighborhood council. And then, of course, this is the first meeting that I'm chairing. So it's a special night tonight. Thank you all for being here. And let's go ahead and get to it. So we'll move on to roll call number 2.
Okay, I'll start with roll call. Benny,
Here.
Vincent, here. Melanie,
Here.
Richard Ortiz is currently absent. Vicente is currently absent. Annalee
Here.
and Victor.
Present.
Okay, we have quorum.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you once again for making it to our meeting. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3, non-agenda public comments. So we'll go 2 minutes per person.
Okay.
Let me see here. I don't see.
No, I have the controls over here. So what I'll do is it's just, if anybody in the public wishes to make a comment that are not board members under public comment, you can do so by pushing *9 or raising your hand. I don't see any.
Okay. So we should move on to item number 4, community and board announcements.
So I'll go first to the board. Hold on 1 second. Okay, go ahead, Benny.
All right, so we're going to the board first.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and call on Melanie. So Melanie, you have
Hey.
you have 2 minutes.
I hope this is this just general comment?
This is announcements.
Oh, okay, cool. I just see that Nancy's here, and I didn't know if she. I know if she's on at least one of these committees, so I wasn't sure if she was participating as a panelist or attendee tonight. But I just wanted to call that attention to that she is here.
Okay. Thank you, Mel.
And so as long as folks are in the attendee side, we're okay, right? If we go over the 7 number.
Yeah, that's okay, as long as they don't participate in the meeting. But just to let people know about the planning committee and the joint planning and land use and outreach, we couldn't go over our quorum, which was 14, right? So we had to be half of that. That's why there's 4 members from land use and 3 members from outreach currently on this committee. So
Yes.
yeah, so not all members were going to be on it. That probably explains why Nancy's not on it.
Right.
Those things
Okay.
change into the future. So
Yes.
particular meeting right now.
Okay, folks, if you can put your hand down after speaking. Thank you, Melanie. All right, let's go ahead and call on Victor.
Hi, yes, thank you. I just want for a point of clarification, was this meeting posted on the website by chance for the public?
Yes, it had to be put on the website and was sent to the NC support, which was sent out to anybody that registers at NC support.
So, so they got an email and not like on the actual Lincoln Heights or .org website, because I'm looking at it right now and I'm not seeing it. I just wanted to get the clarification on that.
Let me just check.
I did see the meeting at the neighborhood council website. In fact, that's how I got in. I clicked on the agenda and then on the link.
So let me just do a really fast screen share. I just went onto the website just so people can see it.
Okay, just wanna, yeah, because I don't see it. That's why I'm not sure if mine is off. That's weird.
Yeah,
Okay,
there it is, August 18th.
yeah, for whatever reason, when I go on it, it doesn't show. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Victor. And I see Annalee has her hand up. We'll
So
go ahead and call on her.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we need 3 for outreach, right? So Nancy, because Vincente was supposed to be here, so then Nancy could take over his spot because we need 3 for the meeting, right? To meet quorum.
Yes, we had the number 3 and 4 between both committees. Can we substitute, Vincent, if somebody didn't show?
Yeah, that would have to take an appointment. I don't think we can substitute right now, but we might be able to substitute it in the future, like the next meeting. Right now, we currently have quorum for what we need our committee to meet for right now.
Okay.
We definitely can think about, switching around. I think we'll ask everyone for their availability to make sure that they can make these meetings because they're extra. And whoever can, we can kind of switch the committee around.
Okay. I guess that this would maybe be under an announcement. I just was really inspired by Jimmy Gomez on Saturday talking about getting citizenship and his knowledge on that. And it made me think of in our last meeting, the outreach meeting, Vincente talking about, block parties for vaccines. And I was like, hey, I think it'd be great to do block parties for getting citizenship. Anyways, that was just a thought. I mean, I guess that, I don't know if this should be where I should share it, and maybe outreach could get the ball rolling with outreach doing something. So anyways, that's all.
Yes, all right. Thank you for that, Annalee. Any other board members like to make an announcement? Okay, we should move on to the community. Are there any community members that'd like to make an announcement?
So if anybody in the community would like to make an announcement, you can do so by pressing *9 or using the hand little icon. Okay, not seeing any.
Okay, so then that wraps up community and board announcements. We'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 5, which is discussion and possible action on creation of Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Town Hall meeting regarding Artesian / Avenue 26 night market closure. So that's our item.
Just 1 second, Benny. We have Vicente Gonzalez coming in at 6:14. That's just for the record for the attendance. He's coming in now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Vincent, for that. So, Vicente, as I was saying, we're moving into our new agenda item, which is discussion and possible action on creation of Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Town Hall meeting regarding Artesian Avenue 26 night market closure. So we have 4 subpoints under that item. It's our only item on the agenda. And again, we have 4 subpoints under it. The first one, letter A, being possible date and time. So my question is, do we have to make a motion before we discuss, or should we discuss?
No, we can make the discussion now to possible times and dates.
Okay. So, all right. So then, and then we'll go to the board first. So any board members that want to make a comment in regards to possible date and time now would be the time. So let's go ahead and call on Annalee.
I would really like a Monday evening. Just putting it out there.
Okay,
Let me see. So
all right, so,
I think that it works. First of all, I mean, I know there's obviously other people's availability. I'm just, but also then outreach can do a lot of stuff on the weekends, and it would be fresh in people's brain, because like once the work week starts going, people kind of might lose track of the day. But if we do, go on the weekend to do, real full force on a Saturday, Sunday, then people will be like, oh, okay, Monday's right there. And, sometimes it's the beginning of your week and, things, say you don't get stuff done on a Monday, it folds over to Tuesday or whatever. And you kind of have that build up, and Monday might be, I don't know, good day for that. I don't know, throwing it out there.
Just one small pause right now. Richard Ortiz just came in. I'm promoting him to panelist. He's coming in at 6:16.
okay, thank you for that, Vincent. Okay, that's been noted, Annalee, you're putting out Monday evening. Any other possible date and time suggestions? I'm speaking to the board. Any board members that have another suggestion besides Monday evening?
I think no, let Melanie go. I'll let them go.
Okay, so Melanie.
Hey, I was just thinking, I mean, I think we do this most of our meetings anyhow, but not earlier than 6 p.m. So the maximum amount of people can attend if people are dealing with a work day.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, folks get home tired and stuff, and so yeah, anything before 6 would not be good. I definitely agree with that. Okay, cool. So we have a couple suggestions. Any other board members?
We got Victor.
Okay, thank you. Victor.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's the time frame we're looking at, but I know to really invite the crowd, people, and the vendors and like the people involved with the city, I think we should at least give it a couple weeks to plan it out and not too soon, so that we have enough people to show up and actually have a voice for the Avenue 26 night market.
Do you have a rough idea, Victor, like roughly? Because we're on August 18th right now.
Yeah, I want to say at least 2 to 3 weeks minimum to plan it out. I'm thinking, but that's just my idea.
Okay.
Just for our reference, like we're looking at on Victor's suggestion, we're looking at somewhere in the first to second week of September. And I agree with that, because we are going to have to get us as we go down the items, we're going to have to create an invitation for the representative and the agencies that are dealing with the issue. And then we have to give them enough time to respond to us so that we can set the town hall up. And then there's going to be a question of how do we get the outreach out, and if we're going to create possibly like a flyer. So all of that has to be timed in. And I do think that and we have to get, another thing we got to consider too, is the approval of the general board. So before we can move on this, we got to make sure that we have a general board meeting with this item on, because it has to be approved before we move forward on some of these actions.
Okay. Melanie?
I just wanted to point out that that second week of September, that Monday is Labor Day. Maybe not have it on that day. Or maybe, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I think that's Labor Day.
You're talking about September 6th?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that.
And Melanie's correct, it is Labor Day.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to have it on that day for sure. Okay.
Vicente Gonzalez has his hand up.
All right, Vicente. Vicente Gonzalez-Reyes. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In the past, we have done some town hall meetings on Thursdays or on Saturdays. I think everybody would like to attend. We'll probably, I think 7 o'clock will be a good time, either on a Thursday or Saturday.
Okay.
And maybe September 18th. That will give us enough time to settle everything in, do our outreach, let everybody know, everybody in our community.
All right, so Vicente is suggesting 2 different days that we haven't heard, which is Thursday or Saturday, and a specific date of September 18th. Melanie, did you want to? I'm not sure if you forgot to put your hand
yeah,
down. Or...
I know it's me again. I'm really
Okay.
sorry.
It's all right.
Well, I love a Thursday or a Saturday personally. The only thing that I would maybe say is if we do want vendors to attend, I have a feeling Thursday and Saturday nights might be busy nights for them. So we might miss out on some of their voices if I don't know, but I think it's something to consider at least.
Okay, that's a good point, Melanie. Thank you for that. So we have a lot of good ideas being put out there. Any other board members? Okay.
I can't raise my hand on it, but I think what we got when we send our report up to the general board, well, the executive to the general board, I think we should put a couple of suggestions that we heard today. Melanie made a really good one about the weekend. While it might be free for a lot of other people, I do think that they're going to be busy at that time because that's when they're working their hardest, right on the weekends. I'm trying to think of if this action will probably be good on a weekday. But I think we should send the suggestions up instead of hashing them out to get more opinion from some of the other board members on our council to see what they think. And then
They being the executive board or executive committee?
No, it'll be the full general board.
The general board.
Yeah, because this will be finalized at the general board, the official time. Right now, what we're doing is just making suggestions to the general board to consider. So I'm thinking like if we take what Mal said and just put it in our report, like weekends may not be so well because of their schedule. How can we find maybe a weekday in which we can try to get as many people, both public and vendors, right? Because those are the two stakeholders that we're targeting, which anybody can show up, right? And get the right date on it. And I think we were looking at either the 3rd week and possibly the 4th week of September. So if we can pick any one of those days, and Thursday, just a reminder, that's when we have most of our meetings. So I don't think Thursday will work for us, but that leaves, like a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Wednesday, or possibly a Friday might be good.
Okay. So shall we move on to the community feedback?
Yeah, we can get community feedback on it.
Okay, so are there any community members that want to chime in?
So if there's anybody in the community that wishes to have a discussion, you can do so by pushing *9 or raise your little hand. Not seeing any?
Okay, so then it's safe to move on to letter B, correct?
Well, is everyone in consensus with, possibly having, this is what we'll recommend from our committee, that we think that the town hall should be either the 2nd week, which should be either a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. we'll mention it in our report that, you know, about Saturday and Sunday possibly not being good for vendors, right? And that probably our recommendation should be either September 13th, 14th, or 15th to be considered. Or if we think we're gonna need more time, we can also offer one of these dates, which would be September 20, 21, or 22. Of possible dates that we can have.
Okay, committee members, are we fine with that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me, Melanie.
Yes, that sounds good, Victor.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like we have some
Okay. So
general agreement.
Yeah, we have the general agreement of the board, a consensus of it. So the report's simply going to read dates to pick from September 13th, 14th, or the 15th, and September 20, 21, or 22. And that's all going to be based on our time. And I think this gives everyone enough time today, board committee members and board members that are listening, to really look at the schedule and see what day would fit us so we can also participate in the meeting. But also when we do our outreach, to let people know what days might be good, so we can actually pick the day for that meeting.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. And I think also the time, we didn't discuss the time, but I think everyone agrees that it has to be later in the day than 6 p.m. Are we looking at 7, or do we want to push for 7:30, 8 o'clock? I think that's the only thing that we have to think about now. Here.
Well, how many hours are we looking at for this general town hall? Are we talking like 3 hours?
I would say,
Because if it's 3, well, then that means we're gonna let out at 10 p.m., which is pretty late for a weekday.
are we comfortable with 6 or like 7? I mean, I'd like to hear other board members and see what they think.
Because if we go, but Vincent, you're saying that we're looking at 3 hours?
I'm thinking around that, about 2 to 3 hours. I mean, what we want to do is, once we talk to the elected officials in the city agencies, we want to give them a time frame. And so I think part of what we're going to be discussing at the bottom a little bit is really giving them a time frame. Do we want to give them 5 minutes to just say, look, this is what the agency, this is our point of view from the agency, and they can have their little discussion. And after that, we can possibly open it to Q&A to the public. And I think it's important to focus on the public more, that we want to get a statement from the city agency so that the public can have more time to ask and get responses back from the agencies.
Okay, so we have a few board members that want to comment on this. Let's go to Annalee.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think 6 is. I like 6. 6 is pretty good because most people, yeah, if they get off work at like 5, then it gives them time to kind of get home. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So far I've heard 2 times. I've heard 6 p.m. by Annalee. I've heard 7 p.m. by Vicente. Let's go to Victor.
Yeah, I think somewhere in the middle. I think 6:30 should be the start time, and probably not past 9 p.m. So that gives us like 2.5 hours. I think that would be a good time frame.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Melanie.
Yeah, I think that's really smart, Victor, both what Victor and Annalee are saying. Also, I just like Chente was saying, I want to make sure the public has enough time as they need to make their comment. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lively meeting with lots of participants, hopefully. So, you know, we start at 6 or 6:30. We're going to spend that first 15, 20 minutes just like, you know, doing housekeeping before we really get into it. So yeah, 6 or 6:30 at the latest would be my vote.
Yeah, based on what you just said, you swayed me to 6 p.m. So that would be my,
Okay.
that would be my suggestion as far as my input. I would be good for 6.
Okay,
All
so-
right. Anybody else on time? Any other board member on time? Okay, we should go to the community, right?
Well,
Vincent?
just to make sure that the committee members have a consensus. So we're doing it at 6 p.m. Is everyone okay with that?
Yes, Victor.
That's fine, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just thinking that that would assure us that, and everybody would be heard, right? So that's how I'm thinking is I want everybody to be heard, and I don't want people to start leaving early without others having their say. So I think 6 would be good.
Okay. Well, the consensus is 6 p.m. So that's the time of our town hall.
Okay, well, we should go to the community. Does the community have input on time?
So if anybody in the community wishes to put input on any of the time for the town hall, you can do so by pushing *9 or raising your hand. Not seeing any?
Okay, I think it's okay to move on to letter B, right?
Yes.
Okay, so letter B, invite elected representatives and agencies. So again, obviously, we want to invite not just the community and the vendors, but the elected reps and agencies. So Vincent, do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I think like on this one, we're going to reach out to all the agencies that were involved and of course CD13, right? I think at this point, so we can get a lot of the work done, because I think if it piles up on one person, it's going to be a lot. I think right now our committee should probably appoint liaisons to, not necessarily liaisons, but contact, so that people can contact the different agencies. Like we need a contact for CD1. Someone should contact street services. Someone should contact the LAPD, the fire department, and basically any agency that was involved in the situation, even maybe parking enforcement.
Right.
We can create a document, a letter, which if somebody wants to help me with it, or I could do it myself and then give it to each and every one of you, and you just change the title to what agency you're contacting. But that this would be able to go out to everybody, and then each person would then report back to the chair, which is Benny, and just make sure that we have a confirmed date and time that they're going to participate in the town hall. And we try, that's what's kind of be a little crazy. That's why multiple people should work on it, because we got to find out their schedule, whether they can be here or not, or send a representative, so that our town hall can be effective with the right representation.
Okay, so would we use this time right now to volunteer on who wants to contact who?
Yeah, I mean, we can, if anybody of the committee members wishes to be the direct contact with any of the agencies, we can right away, put you in place, and then you'd be the official contact for this issue. So I see Annalee raised her hand.
Okay, let's go with Annalee. Annalee, are you there?
Oh yeah, I was like, do I need to talk? I thought maybe you were like, okay, let's go with Annalee, and I was like, okay, do I need to? Anyways.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I meant for you to go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I would. I feel like I feel kind of like I should be the direct contact, just because I live in Area 1, and I've already done a lot of outreach with community members and really seen the whole thing develop firsthand, and have a lot of contacts already. And I know Richard Ortiz also has, so maybe we can kind of team up together if he wants to. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because right now we're talking about elected representatives and agencies, right?
Yeah,
So from the, go ahead, Vincent.
Go ahead, Benny, go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say from elected representatives and agencies, is there somebody that you're leaning towards, Annalee, as far as reaching out to?
Oh, I mean, I have a list. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that I have a good idea of, yeah, lots of people.
Elected reps?
Yeah.
Or the agencies, like the offices?
Are you asking for the list right now?
Um,
I think I can clarify. Can I?
okay,
Sorry for speaking
let's
out
go
of
to
order.
Melanie. That's all right.
Annalee, I think if I got this right, it's that, a few of us maybe would volunteer to do outreach to the different agencies. Like one of us works on getting elected officials to attend. Another one of us works on getting like the cleanup, sanitation services to attend. Another works on like fire department and police department to attend. Am I correct in that?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Well, I don't have anyone I don't have anyone in particular. I'm just really, I will help with whatever, I guess. So, yeah.
So I guess the question we should ask the committee members is this: is anybody interested to contact an agency or our only elected official right now would be Cedillo? Is anybody interested in contacting them directly? Or the second option would be we can grab a small group together that would be their specific job to contact both the elected and the agencies, and then they can focus on that while some other people will focus on the outreach of it. So if there are members that want to do it as an individual, we can let you speak now, and if not, we can set up a small group, maybe 2 or 3, that can target all those agencies, so that the group is working on different projects at the same time, but we'll bring it together at another meeting. I see Melanie.
Yeah, I'd be happy to be a part of a group of people that take care of that.
Okay. Vicente.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Vicente.
I have the direct contact numbers for Cedillo Field Officer, Senator Maria Elena Dorazo, Assembly Member Wendy Carrillo, and you guys said you wanted to invite who else? What other?
So yeah, so it sounds like you
I got
want to
Hilda
do
Solis
these
too. I got Hilda Solis contact information too.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to do elected representatives.
If that's what you guys want me to do, I can make it happen.
All right. And does anybody want to work with Vicente on that?
No, we still got hands up of people. There's Victor and then Annalee.
Okay, Victor.
Yeah, definitely what Vicente said, we should definitely invite as many representatives as possible, but also I'm not sure the main people that's in charge of the police, the fire marshal, Department of Sanitation. We have to make sure to include them because I think a lot of them were involved in the closure of this. So in case the public has any questions, that's definitely something that we should invite.
Yeah, definitely. Those are the agencies that we want to reach out to. Do one of the two stand out for you, Victor? Which one do you want to work on, elected reps or agencies?
I can help if with the agencies. That's not a problem. I'll probably just, yeah.
Okay, so we have Vincent for elected reps, Victor for agencies, Annalee and Mel that are willing to help out with either. So let's go with Annalee.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll help out wherever. I'd like to focus the most on outreach and with the community and vendors. But also I think that I know that since we're going to be bringing this up for a general board meeting, we could also have that possibly be on the agenda for people to make up a list in case, so that maybe we're just crossing T's and dotting I's in case, you know, there's like different agencies or elected officials that other people would like to add to the list. And then, yeah, if there's like a group of everybody that kind of, yeah, so that, you know, the emails, it's kind of more, it's the group works together and is cohesive kind of for follow up and all that would be super good. Anyways, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So I made a note of that. Thank you, Annalee.
The Santa's hands up.
Vicente?
I would like to work as a team when it comes to outreach and elected officials, and also contacting the sanitation, everyone that was involved. So everybody's
Okay.
welcome to reach out to me.
Vicente, so we got you down for elected reps, and then we'll get you down for outreach, which is
Okay.
letter D on the agenda. So we're gonna get there, but I did make a note that you're interested in.
Yeah, one more thing. How many
In that.
flyers are we gonna make once the board
Well,
decides what day and time?
Yeah,
Are
we'll
we gonna
get to
get
that.
banners?
Vicente, we'll get to that because that's actually
right.
on the agenda, the outreach flyers.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Excited.
All right. So anything else for letter B, invite elected representatives and agencies?
No, I think everyone spoke out that they want to have a group. My understanding is it's two groups, right? Ones that will talk, reach out to representatives of agencies, and that's good. And I think that's gonna, you know, spread the tasks around in those groups. So I agree with that, and I thank everyone for stepping up for it.
All right. And I also heard Annalee say that at the board meeting, we should open it up for others that want to get involved, getting the word out.
Well, that's what we'll talk about in item D,
Okay.
with the outreach.
All right. We should probably go to the community to see if they have anything to say on this.
Okay.
So,
Before we open to the committee, Annalee raised her hand.
okay, Annalee.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. I was saying that we should ask the other board members about different agencies or elected officials that they might have input on to add to the list. That's all.
Okay, I gotcha. To add to list. All right. Yeah, that's a good point. They might have some contacts that we're missing. Okay. Shall we move on to the community input for letter B and invite elected representatives and agencies?
Yes, if there's anybody in the public that wishes to give input, you can do so by pushing *9 if you're on a landline, and if you're on a computer or cell phone, you can use the little hand icon. Okay, not seeing any.
Okay. So just to finish up, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We did have one, Victor just raised his hand.
Okay, we'll come back to Victor.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry to bring back, since I saw that no public comment. I just wanted to make a, hypothetically, say we did invite these elected officials and agencies, and they don't show up. How will we approach the town hall with the public? Or how are we going to approach it, I should say?
Well, I mean, you know, the one way I've been involved with just one town hall when no one showed up. And usually what we do, it's their responsibility as elected officials to come and represent the community, especially on topics, you know, that are of importance, right? So you would either come yourself as the elected, or you're going to send a representative. In that case, if they don't, I think we should let the public know at that time that your elected officials didn't think this was important enough to come. That's why the time frame is going to be important, why we need to give them enough time to participate in it. So we might want to pick some of the later dates in September, like 20, 21, and 22, to give them enough time, because then there should be no reason why they shouldn't come up. They're elected, our taxpayer dollars pay them to show up. And I think a lot of people are going to want to have, questions, and they're going to want answers from their agent, the city agencies and elected officials.
Yeah, this is a hot topic. I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen the mainstream media pick up this story. I mean, this issue is big, and yeah, it'd be really disappointing if an elected official or a rep don't even send a rep. But let's go ahead and call on Melanie.
I'm sure we can include in the letter to them also, like inviting them, or however we invite them via phone or email or letter, that, us inviting them has been like in our flyers to the community, like we've included who we've invited. Am I making sense? Okay, guys. Like, let them know, like, we'll make sure everyone knows that you've been invited. You know what I mean?
You either show, or there's a clause in there, and you'll be on social media. No, I get it.
Exactly.
And I think we should put on there, and just on the letter, I think there should be a little bit of where we say, it's a very important issue to our community. And, I want to say exactly what I said right now to them, but, they always say we got to be civil, right? But sometimes we got to push hard back on them, because they, in my opinion, this is something that they should be doing, right? Because the neighborhood council, when we do it, we normally don't have the full money and resource to do it. And this is something that a lot of the members in our council felt that it was important to address, because it was probably something that wasn't going to be talked about. And now that the neighborhood council has, pushed it up, we want to get the elected officials and the agencies here to be responsible and say, hey, this is what you should be doing. This is what good government is. We have questions, and we want to ask you directly, not hearsay from your field deputy. We need answers, and we want to know what's happening. There's some concern. So maybe that's what we should put in there.
Okay. So just to finish up on this item, what I'm hearing is that, yeah, we want, two groups as opposed to like, two individuals, right? So we can share the load in reaching out to the elected representatives and agencies. And we want to, emphasize the importance of this issue on the letter. We want to ask our fellow board members at the general board meeting if they know of any others that that they might want to include. Any other consensus items that I missed that came out?
No, I think you rounded up.
Okay. And as far as Annalee and Mal willing to do anything, like, I guess you all can just plug in either one of those two for now, elected or agencies, and then we're gonna get to outreach in a little bit. So does that sound good if we move on to letter C?
Yes.
Okay, so letter C, question and answers from the public. So how is that gonna look like the
So I
day
think-
of at our town hall?
I think one of the major mistakes, and I don't know with my fellow committee members here, and even in the public, sometimes when elected officials or city agencies hold these types of town halls or any type of meeting, one of the things that upsets me the most is when they ask us to write a question on a card, and then we submit it, and then the questions are hand selected. So I think for our town hall meeting, we should allow the public to voice their questions directly to the elected officials and the agency, right? I could tell you why they do it, because it kills the tone in the room. But I think that when we hear anger or joy in people's voices, that can, trigger the level of, concern sometimes, or the joy of it being, we want more of it. So I think that the style of this meeting should just be really giving them each like 5 to 6 minutes to make a presentation for each agency, and then allowing the stakeholders, to come up and ask their questions. Sometimes these are the only time that the public has in front of the elected officials, right? And the agencies. And I think it's important for them to have a platform.
All right. I see Vicente with his hand up. Go ahead, Vicente.
I agree with brother Vincent, but I think I don't know how everybody thinks, but I think we should choose the questions from the community and from residents that live around there, from vendors that live in Lincoln Heights that sell there, from everyone. I mean, we should, everyone should be able to have a voice, even the business owners that are around there. We should include every single person to speak. That's it. We should choose the questions from the community.
Okay. So questions from the community should be chosen. Just taking notes down here. All right. Let's go ahead and call on Annalee.
Is it just only going to be questions and answers, or is there going to be able to be public comment? It's a two-part thing I have to say. So that's the first part. Because I feel like there might be some public comment that might answer some questions.
I think with the Q&A, it's the public comment section of it. So
Okay.
what we want to do is empower community members, the public, to come up and if someone has a question, right? We need to hear it from them versus putting it on a card and giving it to me, and then we go in the back and people are searching for them, right? So as the public comes up, we say, if anybody, for example, we're at the town hall right now. If anybody would like to address the elected official or the agency, please step up and just state where your question is directed. So I want mine directed to Cedillo's office, and then ask the question. You know what I mean?
Right.
That way they're engaging directly to their elected officials and their agencies.
And then we will have an option for public comment, right?
Well, I think at that point they can make a comment or ask a question. So we can, so we don't have time overlap because of we don't have a lot of time, but we could say you can either make a comment or you can have a question to the agency, and then we may, so that we can get enough people in.
Yeah.
There's the question and then there's a response. Obviously, if someone makes a comment, there won't be a response and we save time there. So we might want to say, 2 minutes per person to be able to say something, and then hopefully a minute for a response or more, depending on how technical the question is. But we want to keep it moving as fast as we can. We want to make sure we give everyone the same amount of time.
I like what Melanie said a lot about saying in a nice way that we will be letting people know that the elected officials and agencies have been invited. And I was just going to say, I know that there probably will be a lot of questions, and it is a hot topic. And what Jimmy Gomez had done on Saturday, which was really nice, was that he said that, every question would be answered and posted on the website. So maybe we can also let the elected officials know that we want all of the community's questions to be answered, and anything that is not touched on at the town hall, that we would like them, we will be the liaison between the community members' question and the agency, and then we could post that on the website. I don't know, maybe that's too much, but I don't know. Anyways, just throwing it out there, just ideas.
Thank you, Annalee.
Okay, Victor.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, going back to what he was saying about the time, like I understand, because it's going to be, I don't know how long, we never talked about when it's going to end or if we're going to have like a time frame to end. But if we do, we just have to be aware of that and make sure that the moderator, who was ever in charge, I guess if a situation happens where the person that's asking the question and the representative is going back and forth, I'm not sure how we're going to moderate that, or we're going to just let it happen, or I don't know what the board thinks. That's one thing. And then the other, do we have a time frame of when we're going to cut this? Like, is it going to be 9, 10, or I'm not sure if we talked about that already.
No, I think what we can do is do a worksheet on what Victor's saying right now. And that is like, for example, when the city agencies come in or the electeds, we can give them up to 5 minutes each to explain their stance on the issue, right? From that, we already know that the public, you know, has these questions and concerns about it. I think the less time we give them, but hopefully that they can give us a good explanation in 5 minutes, which I think they can, from each agency, then we open it up to the question or comment period, where the public then has the dialogue with them about the forward and backwards. That's why we need to put a time limit on it, because we know that it's a hot topic. We know that, you know, people are gonna, whenever that happens, that's the reason why sometimes they do the postcards in writing, but it also silences a lot of people. So I think we're gonna have to, it's something that you got case by case, and we don't want the public to feel that we're cutting them off because their question's not important or not. It's just really a consideration that there are a lot of people that want to say something, and we got to give them the same time we gave you, and we want everyone's question. And if we feel at the end of the day that this is something that needs to carry on, we need to ask the elected officials to come back and maybe we do another one. So, I mean, we'll assess that at the time of the meeting, but that's an option we can give them in order for people to be heard. Because I think it's the most important thing in as an elected person and as stakeholders is to hear them and their concerns.
And if we start at 6 and shoot for 9, that gives us 3 hours. If we spill over, we're definitely under 10 p.m. if we go over 20 minutes. But kind of like what Vincent was saying, we can play by ear depending on how it's going and stuff. We can decide if we want to continue another day or what have you. Vicente? I'm sorry, was that
yes.
Vicente? Did you have your hand up?
I did.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
trying not to barge in, you know.
No, it's all right.
I'm so used of the old ways, you know. Do we have a moderator? Do we have translators? I mean, if you guys need help with that, I can make that happen.
Yeah, right now I don't think we talked about translation, but the city, I'll look into it as the treasurer for the council. There is a $50,000 budget they have for us, and I believe that our council has to pay for it first, and they reimburse us whenever we have meetings. So right now we don't have our budget approved. That's coming up in our next meeting that we need to approve it, and all the documents need to be sent in. I'll see that if I can get the translation, which will be through the Zoom, and you know, we'll pay for it and then get reimbursed. So I'm pretty sure that we'll have translation for this town hall. We have to. Let's put it that way.
I'd volunteer to moderate, but I'm so monotone. I'm afraid I'll put half of the public to sleep, you know, halfway through the town hall.
Well, I mean, you know, we could have the moderator, or, you know, I could do the hosting from it, which is exactly what I'm doing now. When you guys hear me talk to the public and ask them to raise their hand or not, the one thing we will need is to have another account on here where we put a time, like kind of like a little stopwatch on the clock, so everyone can see it. I think that's going to be the most important, and just, you know, let people know that once that time hits, we have to stop it, regardless of what it is. It just, and I know because I've been on the other end of that, and it kind of feels like, how dare you shut me up, right? And I'm hoping that people don't get that, but it's almost impossible when you have hot topics like that. So I'm thinking, that's why I said if we gave them like 2 minutes and a timer, can we keep them, can we keep the meeting going to just give as many opportunities as we can?
The other option would be to start the music, kind of like in the Oscars, let them know to wrap it up. And no, I'm just kidding. Okay. I see Victor with his hand up.
Oh yeah, sorry. I had another, talking about timers and all that. I'm not sure if we're gonna do a share screen or a video, but is there a way to possibly put like a video of a timer counting down so they can see if they're doing this through their computer or phone?
Yeah, is that what you were talking about, Vincent? Is putting a timer so everybody could see?
Yeah, like something where we can use it like a stopwatch. I've seen other neighborhood councils do it. And so I was thinking, if we did our own, if I could get I have one somewhere on here. I was gonna show you guys it right now. Let me
Okay,
see.
while you do that, Vincent, let's do a time check. It's 7:01, so we've been at this for about an hour. We're on item letter C, which is second to the last item with one more item to go before adjournment. So just wanted to put that out there for folks as far as how we're doing on time. Okay, so there's been a lot of good ideas put out there as far as question and answers from the public or from public. And I know I've been taking some notes down here. So, oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, so I'm looking at something like this. I think Victor was this probably what he was thinking, where everyone would be able to see it and we can just start it and then let the countdown go. And everyone can see that, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
but do we want something, what's the word, where it's less obvious? Inconspicuous, is that the word? Or do we want it that big, like just blatantly in front of everybody's face?
I think the bigger the better. I mean, people can't say they didn't see it, right?
Okay, let's go ahead and call on Melanie.
I was thinking, I think Vicente said earlier about like comment coming from the community members and the vendors. I wonder, I know it would probably be honor system, but I wonder if it could be like, if you are a vendor for the night market or someone living in District 1, maybe you get 2 minutes and then the rest of the general comment gets 1. I don't know if that's unfair or a terrible idea, but just a thought.
No, it's a good thought, but the Brown Act doesn't allow us to do that. So what we give one, we have to give all.
That makes sense. Okay.
So does that mean we should decide on whether to give them 2 minutes off or 1 minute for everybody? Do we have to make that decision?
We
Or
can,
is there a standard protocol at townhouse?
well, we can make it like, I think a good medium point or middle point with that is going to be like, what if we gave them a minute and a half? Okay, if anybody has ever spoken in public or at a meeting, you know how much a minute is. You got a million things going through your head and you want to spit it out all at once. I do 2 minutes because it at least lets people gather themselves a little. Some people are professional and gung-ho. 2 minutes is good for them. But I think if we look at it and how many we can squeeze in an hour, if we did a minute and a half, I think that's adequate time for them. Like we want to make sure that the public's heard. That's our goal. And sometimes 2 minutes is very bold, but it's also, we're in favor of the community. We want our stakeholders to be heard.
I guess that only gives them like, oh, I'm sorry, I should have raised my hand. That'd only be like 30 people that could speak. Or maybe that's a lot. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a lot though.
No, I know it doesn't. Maybe at a minute and a half, we can squeeze another 5 people in, That's something to think about. We have to think about it because if not, it will go over And I never like setting times on the meeting because if they're interested enough, people will stay until they're heard. And of course, we encourage the city agencies and the electeds to stay because, I mean, after all, people stood long onto the meeting to get heard, not to just, you know, okay, bye, the meeting finished, we'll see you later.
Right. There's been times I'm watching the corporate media at 10 o'clock news, 11 o'clock news, and a number of times I've heard the newscasters say, yeah, the meeting's still going on right now. And I'm thinking, oh my God, they're still meeting at 10, 11 p.m. at night. So yeah, I think you're right, Vincent, in that if they really care, they're gonna stay. Melanie?
Yeah, there's like nothing worse than like carving out time to attend like a city council meeting for like something you really care about. And then they're like, okay, that's it for public comment. And they let, you know, you don't get to, there's nothing, there's like, it's such a terrible feeling. I mean, I'm certainly willing to stay on as long as needed for people to be able to say their piece. Like I can only speak for myself, but I'd hate to have anyone get their opportunity to speak publicly taken away from them.
Okay, so we've had a lot of good ideas put out for question and answer segment of the town hall. Is there anything else? Annalee?
Oh, I agree with Melanie. I think that, and I actually, Melanie, I agree with everything that you've said tonight. Very good job. But yes, I do think that, yeah, anyways, that's all.
Okay, cool. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Annalee.
Thanks, Annalee. All right. Is there anything else that we need to flesh out for question and answers? Or shall we move on to letter D, which is,
Let's just check the public to see if they
oh,
have.
good looking out, Vincent. Yes, let's do that.
So if there's anybody in the public that wishes to give any comments on item number C, questions and answers from the public, you can do so by pushing *9 or using the little hand. Not seeing any.
Okay, let's move on to letter D, which is outreach flyers, social media, website, and any other means of outreaching all interested stakeholders. Let's go to the committee members first.
So I think on this one, on the outreach flyer, whether it's printed or we have a digital, is there anybody that has, I don't have the skill set to make an attractive little flyer for the community. If anybody knows how to make a flyer, we can make a simple digital flyer for it to get it out. And I will check once we get with the treasury to find out. I know we have some money there. We might have money for printing, but that is going to take a general board action.
I can volunteer for that.
Who was that? Oh, Richard.
Yes.
Okay, Richard, let's raise our hand just to have a little order here. But since you haven't spoken, let's go ahead and was that all your comment? It's just you said you'd volunteer to make a flyer. Richard?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. I've done this before.
Okay, awesome. All right, Vicente?
I could help in that area too with Richard, and I could share. I mean, I could share the flyer I'll come up with, and see if we all agree on that one.
Okay, that sounds good. Richard, with you to work with Vicente on a flyer.
I really appreciate the help.
Okay, awesome. So, so again, we're talking hard copies and digital flyers. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not very good at that, so I'm so glad you two are here for that. Awesome. Okay, social media. Anybody want to focus on that?
I don't know. We don't have a protocol for the social media on there, but I think we should reach out to the president of the council and find out how the social media, because I know outreach, they barely had their first meeting and they're going to start to organize all this stuff. And we do need to get a protocol because we don't have one currently in the council. And plus there's a lot of, Bonk just approved a data programming for us for the council. So we got to review all that to see how we can get some of our social media up. And I'm not too sure what we have in social media in Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. But I would just say that our goal should be to, as soon as this flyer is created, that we should get it out and about to the public immediately via all the avenues to give people enough time. And I will work on my end to see if we can get the printed one out, because I might be able to put it through office supplies. We used to do that in the other council when we needed emergency printing for a council business. So we might be able to do that instead of, you know, having to go through the board and get the money for the flyer and get out, just to save on time. So I'll review all that stuff and then bring answers at our next meeting. But yeah, my thing is just make sure we get it out everywhere that we can get the platform out. And I think that the hand flyer will probably be something that will reach more of our community members. So I'll focus on that. But if Richard and Vicente can get me a copy of the flyer and we could show it to the committee members so we can, you know, go through it, make sure that we have everything right on it and everyone has a consensus to support the flyer.
Yeah, so yeah, we would all be participating in social media, right? Just sending it out to our contacts.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Victor.
Yeah, I think we do have a Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council page. I'm not sure who's in charge of it right now, but I've seen it and I follow them. So we can definitely hit that. We can send out the Lincoln Heights email servers list. We can do that as well. And then I just wanted to make sure, for sure, this is not going to be in-person meeting at all. It's all going to be cyber, correct? Like online, Zoom?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, right now, Bonk has closed any in-person meetings down until December.
Gotcha. Okay, just wanted to confirm. But definitely that the social media, it's very important to outreach. I think we should get the whole body involved to send it out if they want to. I guess we can't force them, but I guess share it to their people that they follow and stuff like that. I think the more people that not just us, the outreach, but everyone that's involved, and then just make sure that everyone else invites other people. And then my last thing is, I'm not sure, do we have a cap of participants on the Zoom? I know I've heard before it's like 100. I'm not sure if we have like the pro version or the regular version.
We have the pro version. We got 500.
Okay, perfect. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Victor, for that. So we'll continue with any other committee members from the PLUC, Planning and Land Use, or the Outreach Committee that want to comment on outreach.
I don't see any.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, how many folks are in the public, Vincent? Because I can't see. I'm just curious.
Let me see. Right now, 2.
2? Okay. So let's go ahead and open it up to the public as far as outreach.
Okay, if there's anybody in the public that wishes to put any feedback on outreach flyers, social media, website, any other outreach to all interested stakeholders, you can do so by pushing *9 or raising your little hand. Not seeing any.
Okay. So any other final comments by either the Planning and Land Use Committee members or the Outreach Committee members?
We got Richard.
Okay, Richard?
Yeah, I'd just like to apologize. I had a little issue with my phone for being late for the meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Richard, for
I
that.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I know we're all volunteers. We're all doing our best and, you know, doing what we can with you know, in this new world that we're in, right? Who would have thought we'd be meeting without seeing each other, just hearing each other and being away from each other? Like that didn't cross my mind, you know, 2 years ago. But sure enough, here we are. So,
Totally understand.
yeah, so thank you for saying that, Richard. Any other final comments in regards to our town hall?
Don't see any.
Okay, as far as taking this to the general board, that would be for this Thursday's, actually, it's tomorrow.
We will make, well, Benny, since you're the chair, you'll be making a report directly to the general board on what we discussed today. So it's just some of the highlights that we want to take to them to consider, because we will be having another joint land use and outreach committee for the town hall. And we need to finalize everything in our next meeting before we actually have our date. So when we get the flyers out, everything's finalized. We already got confirmation of who will attend. So we have that deadline. But yeah, it would be getting a small report for tomorrow, and we'll send it to them, and at least let the general board members know that what we've been doing and what the council's work is, and that we will be back with a new report to finalize everything and get the town hall official now.
Right. Okay. So there's nothing else. We move on to the next item, which is adjournment.
So I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I second that motion.
Okay, so it's been moved by Vincent Montalvo, seconded by Victor Asañedo to adjourn. Is there any more discussion?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
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 Hi.
My tacos are getting cold.
Again,
Aye.
again. Okay, against?
None.
Any abstentions?
None.
All right, the ayes have it. We are adjourned at 7:17 p.m.
I want to thank my fellow committee members for joining and the public, and we'll see you guys all at our next meeting. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.